your heater, and whatever else you get plugged in there. Of course, that's sarcasm. Do not overload your outlets, and never run cords under rugs or furniture. And if an outlet is hot, a breaker keeps tripping, or something smells suspiciously bad, call a licensed electrician. When it comes to electricity, trying to be a hero is a great way to end up in the news for the wrong reason.
If you would like to learn more, visit MrElectric.com.
It's generator season. Here's Sean Dore with Mr. Electric.
Standby generators are automatic. These come on right as your power's off. Right when you lose power, here comes your generator power within less than a minute. And now you're running like normal. And so those generators, they're a little more expensive, but they are very convenient.
Call Mr. Electric today or see us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up!
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys! Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. If you want to give us a call on the ESPN hotline in about 15 minutes. Again, the first hour is going to be the hour yesterday and today to do so. So if you would like to get in, certainly feel free to do so. 706-0111 as we broadcast live from the Bill and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers, on this glorious Thursday morning. Unbelievable. I mean, that you just never know about baseball. It is the craziest, wackiest, you never know sport, what's going to happen. The Astros got crushed by the Pirates again. We talked about it yesterday on the show. This is The Pirates are a couple months, a little over 2 months into the most prolific scoring team in their franchise's history since 1940. In fact, yesterday we talked about that and educated ourselves on a little bit about the 1940 Pittsburgh Pirates that I doubt any of us had ever even thought about. I mean, I knew nothing about the 1940 Pittsburgh Pirates until yesterday when, I said, well, I got to find out a little bit about this team that they're trying to catch. And I mean, there's some pretty good hitting Pirates teams between now and 1940 that this team is doing better than, and they did it again last night. I mean, the Astros can't get this team out. I mean, they're just crushing balls. 2 strike hits, they're going opposite field. They can't get this team out. It is. I'm glad the Astros are only playing them one more time, and they were down 8-3 last night. It looked like they were headed for a 4th loss in 5 games. More than down 8-3. If you weren't watching the game, they were down 9-5 with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 8th, and the 8 and 9 hitters coming up. The first 2 guys struck out in the inning from Montgomery, relief pitcher, left-handed guy. So he comes in, he strikes the first 2 guys out, and I mean, you're just thinking it's over with. I mean, it's just, I was hoping going into the inning, well, maybe you can score 2 runs in this inning and cut it to 9-7. Even though Soto, for those who hadn't really followed the Pirates' relief pitching situation, Gregory Soto's been fabulous this year. Like, opponents are hitting 105 against him coming into that game last night. I mean, his ERA was basically nothing. And then the Piper got him. But he, so the first 2 guys strike out, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like they're scoring 2 runs in this inning. And they didn't. Nick Allen. Now, I've been very hard on Nick Allen, so I got to eat a little crow here, and that's the kind of crow I like eating. If you remember, he had a home run at Wrigley, and not only did he get on base to start this inning, he crushed that ball. Would have been a home run in most ballparks. I mean, he hit it. He hit it at the very top. Way up there to the little thing, not where the Phillips or whatever that pump is called now. It's just to the left of it. I mean, he crushed it. It was almost a home run. And then, so still, though, it's 2 outs. You got a runner on second. You're down 4 in the 8th. And you got your 9 hitter up, Vasquez. Well, he hits a double in the gap. Didn't hit it as far, but he still hit a double in the gap. And unbelievable. All of a sudden, Pena draws a walk. Then El Perro Grande. I know everyone loves home runs, but that was probably his best game of the season last night. His best performance at the plate. He didn't even come close to hitting a home run. But he was 4 for 5. He worked counts. He went the other way. His first one was a single through the right side. Then he got like a base hit through the left side, and he kept working. He got a line drive up the middle in the 8th to contribute to that. They got a little lucky, a lot lucky. Christian Walker, they kind of had a shift going, and he hit a slow roller to second, and by the time the guy got to it, he tried to rush it and threw it away. So they got really lucky there. And then a wild pitch tied the game, and then Cam Smith comes in and gets his second double of the game, goes 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. And Hader, when it looked like his first game back off the 60 was going to be just a nothing, he comes in and gets his first save of the season. And the Astros went 11-9 with 6 in the 8th inning after 2 outs and nobody on, and your 8 and 9 hitters up. I mean, just unbelievable. Like, that was a miracle win. I mean, just a miracle win. We talk about, I heard some people say the Knicks stole the game. No, the Knicks didn't steal the game last night from the Spurs. The Astros stole a game from the Pirates last night, which is fitting because that's what the Pirates do. They steal from people. And so, Buccaneers, Pirates, they're scavengers of people.
That's
so
good double entendre straws right there.
So, they stole for them. I mean, what a great victory. I can tell you're not nearly as pumped up as I am about this great victory the Astros had last night.
Well, it's an Astros win, so it doesn't really do much for me. A little, it kind of stinks that we kind of got robbed of a great pitcher's duel between Skeens and Arrighetti.
That's silly. I told you all about it. I mean, the UL LSU angle, as far as you know in the research you did, that's the first time that two starting pitchers have ever met where one was from LSU and one was from UL in major leagues, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And that part of it was cool, but all this Cy Young talk, the final scores, talking about MVPs and Cy Young before late August is silliness.
No, I just wanted to see a good pitcher's duel, and their stats looked like that is what was going to happen. That's what I was hoping for. It wasn't because they're both, potential Cy Young candidates.
But this is best case scenario. You knew, I've been saying, I mean, you can't keep pitching like Arrighetti was pitching. You can't. It's not possible. And so the best case scenario is you get lit a little bit for the first time, and the Astros win the game. I mean, this is perfect. That was just an unbelievable victory. I mean, they had no business getting it. They got crushed for the second game in a row by the Pirates, and they found a way. And again, Soto, he hadn't given up anything all season. I don't know if anybody in Major League Baseball had a lower opponent's batting average than him. I think it was either 105 or 106 coming into this game.
Yeah,
what opponents had hit on him on the season. So he had been fabulous, and they obviously are a much better offensive team. It's not even close. They're top 5 in the major leagues in runs scored, but their bullpen has got issues. They lost Bednar in that trade with the Yankees. They tried Santana. He's been a complete disaster show, and I think Soto's going to be fine. But the Piper got him last night. So what? Pena had a good night. What an incredible victory. The Astros will now try to get the Pirates out. It's the last chance, unless they meet in the World Series. I don't think that's going to happen, but I guess you never know. But, I mean, it's just last time they got to face them, or if they could win this series after getting their face crushed, their pitching staff just got abused by the Pirates lineup for 2 games. Hopefully they can do that today. We will see. Tang has been great. So, I'm pumped up about the Astros. The only thing, I always talk about how much I prefer everything about baseball than football, but this is one of the few times where I kind of wish the Astros were a football team, because when you get an incredible victory like that last night, you kind of like to savor it for a week.
Yeah.
So when you lose, it's better to be baseball, because then you get a chance to go out and play the next day.
Yeah, it's a quick refresh.
But when you win, you don't get to enjoy it as much because, they could get their faces crushed today. And then, I mean, it's not like the gloriousness of last night's victory doesn't evaporate totally, but it tarnishes a little bit because all losses kind of make you feel a little worse.
Yeah, I mean, this is baseball. There's no rest for the wicked. It could all go south tonight.
All right, so great victory there. The Knicks. I said yesterday, I had no idea. By the end of the day, I'm like, I think the Knicks are more experienced, so I think they're going to win. But I didn't really know. I mean, I heard why people thought the Spurs would win. I heard why people thought the Knicks would win. But after last night's game, like, how could anybody think the Spurs are going to win? Or, I mean, it just looks like the Knicks just look like a team of destiny. Like, it's going to happen. Like, they've won 12 in a row.
Yeah.
They didn't play great for 3 quarters last night, although they had a nice surge. They were down 14 and tied it before the 4th quarter, late in the back half of the 3rd quarter. But other than that, they didn't really play that well, which is what we expected. And look, the Spurs have surprised us before, where it looked like the Thunder had taken control of the series and the Spurs came back and won. So, it just looks like the Knicks matched up with the Spurs better last night than what I thought. We talked yesterday. I didn't know what to think of this matchup. I didn't know who was going to guard who and how all of this was going to play out. And to be fair, all the assignments last night might not be the same in the next game or the next game because the Knicks they've shown, Coach Brown has shown he's willing to mix things up, and it's kind of worked. And so they matched up way better than what I thought and a lot of people thought. And so it just looks like it's going to happen for the Knicks. After, again, we're talking 50-something years since they've done this. And it's a long time coming, and unless there's a major injury. Now, Brunson did get beat up last night. You know, Knicks fans did get some scares last night, injury-wise. But he's so mentally tough, and he would be fun for him to be on your team. I know everyone's trying. Luka is not fun. There's nothing fun about having Luka on your team. But to have a guy like Brunson on your team, and be maybe not the best player, but one of your two best players, and just he's so clutch down the stretch, and he has a calm and coolness around him. He's impressive.
Yeah, no, I think
he is impressive.
You're not going to find a team that wouldn't absolutely welcome Jalen Brunson on it.
He is something. All right. So before we go to our first time out, what is our poll question of the day, sir?
Yes, so since it's summer, we decided to go with a fun one today. If you had the choice to go pro in a sport, which would you choose? Basketball, football, baseball, or other? So that could be golf, tennis, soccer, you name it.
I don't know. I mean, baseball's my first thought is baseball, but it's just a different kind. Baseball's a grind because you play so many games.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I think the camaraderie with the team is cooler in baseball than the other sports.
Yes, I would agree. A baseball locker room is better.
I get the coolness of golf because, it's country club stuff.
Pretty courses, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Well, golf, if you play it the right way, it's not peaceful. You're just angry the entire time because you messed up your shot.
I mean, I think I would say baseball would be my answer, but there's arguments for a lot of them. I mean, that's a tough one.
I could see you as a tennis star. I could see that. But we have a comment from Cajun Rockin' because originally I said baseball or soccer, but he gave an opinion that completely changed my answer, and he said Bassmaster Classic, being a pro bass fisherman. I am 1,000% going for that because fishing is amazing. It's one of my favorite things to do. If anybody's got a pond they want to let me fish, let me know. And me and Foot can go.
Michelle and I like to fish. We like the idea of fishing, and we do fish sometimes. We never catch anything.
That's what I'll take you. We got to go together.
But no, I like the concept of fishing, and I enjoy fishing. In fact, I thought about it today. Man, we should go fishing late this afternoon. But we're not really good at it. And so, but no, I would have no problem. I think I would enjoy being an expert fisherman, no question.
I think I could definitely see you in that role. Have a big boat, all the sponsors all over you.
I mean, I am so bad at fishing that I can't call myself a fisherman. But again, when I was young, a little kid back in the 70s, we used to watch Bill Allen show and. I didn't watch dance as much, but Roland Martin. We used to watch the Roland Martin show. Cole, you're young enough to know who Roland Martin is?
Trust me, I know who Roland Martin is. I've watched thousands of videos. And
they're still around? Roland Martin is not still around.
I don't know if it's still around, but just from YouTube, my dad, I know who Roland Martin is.
This is back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Roland Martin show.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He has a very popular fishing. I'll think of it, but yeah. I know who Roland Martin is.
Yeah, well, that's shocking.
Yeah.
The man knows who Roland Martin is. So anyway, I watched, again, I'm not anti-fishing at all. I just not real good at it.
He is still around. I see a YouTube video from March 2nd, 2026.
How old is Roland Martin?
86 years old.
And he's still doing videos?
That's what it looks like. I mean,
wow.
Cold weather fishing tips.
Wow.
Look, that's one of those things with fishing. You can never be too old to go fishing.
Wow.
It's a timeless sport. You could do it at 1,000 if you lived that long.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. I thought that I hadn't heard of Roland Martin in like 30 years or something. That is amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
After further review, we'll be hitting the road, setting up shop today at Walk-Ons in Lake Charles. Matt Moscona will be broadcasting his LAB award-winning show live on Walk-Ons on 5313 Common Street from 3 to 6 this Thursday. Food and drinks will be provided, so make sure to swing by, hang out with Matt Moscona for After Further Review today at Walk-Ons in Lake Charles.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsan, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. That's 800-819-8313.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Louisiana at highschoolofficials.com.
Do yourself a favor and download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, powered by Moss Motors BMW for your Android or Apple devices. Download the app by searching ESPN 1037 Lafayette or ESPN 1041 Lake Charles. It's just that easy to take Southwest Louisiana's sports station with you wherever you go.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to get in on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. So we've talked about the NBA Finals, the Astros' great victory last night, and our poll question of the day in the first segment. It is, remember, this week, it is week 1 of our Footnotes Summer Project 1-2 punches. And we've had a lot of suggestions so far. We really haven't spent that much time on it. Got another one today. Someone texted me, Gary Carter and Andre Dawson. Again, it's tricky when you do the outfield catcher. Like we've had that. We did the Campy and Jackie Robinson, Campy and Duke Snyder. Someone said Thurman Munson and Reggie. That's tricky. I don't know. Can you 1-2? I guess if they're hitting back-to-back in the order or something like that, you could 1-2 punch it if with positions that are that different. But I got to tell you, those Montreal, other than Astros, my two favorite non-Astro outfields of all time are Lynn, Rice, and Evans from the Red Sox in the 70s, and Ellis Valentine, Warren Cromartie, and Andre Dawson of the Expos. Those are my two favorite non-Astro outfields. That Red Sox outfield and that Warren Cromartie, Ellis Valentine, Andre Dawson outfield that the Expos had. Those were cool outfields. And so, I don't know. Might say, I mean, Dawson and Carter they probably did hit back-to-back. I think Dawson did hit third, and Carter did hit fourth. So I guess that makes sense. But I really like the outfield combination in that situation there. All right. Let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
So let me ask you this, man. And when you think about this topic, it's kind of hard because I think free agency plays a key factor, and combinations not stand long.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm thinking when you think about this, Steve Carlson and Mike Schmidt. Because Mike Schmidt's a Gold Glove third baseman. He's hitting for power. He's hitting, bringing in runs for Steve Carlson.
Yeah,
that combination.
But again, when you bring up that club, my first reaction would be Schmidt and Lazinski, because Lazinski was a power hitting guy. In fact, the Astros' first playoff game ever, Greg Lazinski hit a 2-run homer and we lost 3-1. But I would have thought that more. But yeah, I mean, those were the two best players on the team, certainly. Yes.
Now, did I mention Ernie Banks and Billy Williams?
You did not mention Ernie Banks and Billy Williams. Yeah, that would be those were certainly the two best players on those teams, yes.
Yeah.
That was before my time, but yeah.
Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns' speed is going to give Wemby problems. Another thing, too, the Knicks, you see how they're attacking them, huh? They're not – of course, Wemby's going to – he's going to dictate the shots and everything. But no, they were attacking them, man. They were able to get a goaltending call on them. I'm glad they battled back, man. So like I said, just one game, but I like what the Knicks are doing in this one game.
I agree. I agree. And you know what's funny? It wasn't all that long ago. I heard a lot of people ridiculing Karl Anthony Towns, like belittling him, and it's amazing how he stayed the course and where he is right now in his career.
I think a lot of times, man, like we see a man mannerisms and we start thinking this or that. You know what I'm saying? And I think his mannerisms kind of, I guess people looked at him as soft. The whole situation with Jimmy Butler, that didn't help the situation. But I always did like his game, man. And you see how they're playing through him. Like you said, hopefully Brunson, he can bounce back. Well, he came back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no, he did.
So, yeah, I just, like I said, just one game. It's a good, like I said, man, your summer project. This is a good one, man, because I'm struggling, man. Like, I'm kind of struggling. Okay, let me ask you this. Those Brewer teams that competed in the early 80s, what two men you would put together? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
All right. Thanks. Well, Ted Simmons played on that team. Where they have Gorman Thomas. That was a team that hit a lot of home runs. Harvey's wall bangers, they call him. But they had Vukovic was their best pitcher, but he wasn't elite. He had a good year. Ben Ogilvy. I don't know. I guess Ogilvy and Thomas, but that's certainly not doesn't sound as good as a lot of these other ones for sure. But that was their deal. Like, they hit a lot of home runs.
I got one. How about Angel Hernandez and missed strikes or missed calls? That's a good 1-2 punch.
This guy over here.
Well, I mean, it's just baseball.
He's going. When he gets to college, he already told us we're going to have Georgia and traffic cops.
Yeah, that's
patrol officers.
That's a good one. Was that James who said that?
I thought you said that.
It could have been, but
it must have been
James.
Yeah, it must have been James that said that. Man, y'all are being cynical.
That's a good one, though.
With these.
It feels like every offseason, and even during the season, inevitably, you're going to see a Georgia player that gets a speeding ticket or they're, something with their car.
Yount and Molitor, to probably someone suggested, is what I should have said on the Brewers, and that's fair. That's fair. Robin Yount. I've always kind of liked Robin Yount. He was, came up really young. He was like 18 years old, playing shortstop, 19, playing shortstop in the major leagues, and he converted to the outfield. So that's a good one. Man, you and James, the cynical.
Angel Hernandez and missed calls, that's pretty synonymous with MLB the past few seasons. Thankfully, he's gone, but pretty sure he led to the introduction of ABS.
The man is just firing darts. But no, it's going to be tougher when we get to college. I think it's going to be a little tougher in college because you only have, for the early on, like freshmen didn't even really play, and so you only have 2 or 3 years. But to be fair, like Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling had that one great. They didn't really have some of these didn't have more than 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
In their prime anyway. So I guess it'll work okay for college. But no, it's been a great first week, and I kind of feel like we've mentioned. I don't know. I've got about 40 or 50 names written. Combos written down here, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Oh yeah. If we really got into the weeds in this, we could be here all summer just doing MLB.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's so many.
No question there. Now, we're going to be talking to Brett Chansey. I'll ask in there. And we did talk about, from an Astros standpoint, Bagwell and Biggio. But and someone, when I was young, I think the combination would have been Cedeno and Watson, Bob Watson, who later played for the Yankees and the Braves and other teams, but and was an executive for years. Great guy. I could listen to Jose Cruz and Cesar Cedeno would be another Astro combination, and what should have been one of the best, if not the best. Well, I don't know about the best, but what should have been one was Nolan Ryan and James Rodney Richard. Unfortunately, James Rodney got the stroke and the Astros mistreated him, and it was just a horrible situation. But and what could have been, anytime someone asks, like online, or just in casual, guy, could have been, what's the bet? The what could have been to me was James Rodney Richard. Oh, just sickening. How good the Astros should have been in the early 80s once they acquired Nolan Ryan to go with James Rodney Richard and Joe Niekro and Bob Nepper and Joaquin Andujar. What that staff should have been like, and just should have been the best staff in baseball for years to come. And it just didn't happen because of that and other things that ended up getting rid of Andujar and all that too. And then they added Don Sutton at the end of his career 2 years later. That didn't work out. That guy was strange. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
Hello, Acadiana. Cajun Carts is your #1 full-service dealer for new, used, and custom golf carts. Perfect for on the job site, the neighborhood, or even out on the green. We are the only authorized dealer of American-made E-Z-GO and Club Car here in Acadiana. For all your service, sales, and mechanical repairs, we got you. So don't wait. Roll on over to CajunCarts.com or stop by our Lafayette location by the Jockey Lot and see why we've been Louisiana's golf cart headquarters since 2003. Cajun Carts. Why walk when you can ride?
When strength matters, go to ap-fabrication.com. Built with precision, heavy-duty structural aluminum welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour emergency metal repairs to keep your operation moving? Trust A&P. For quality craftsmanship, visit ap-fabrication.com. That's ap-fabrication.com. You can trust A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111, certainly feel free to call. We had one, I was looking through the notes here. We had one mentioned yesterday on Twitter, I think. And I think James said this. Sometimes I guess I confuse things you tell me and what James said. But I think this was from James because he didn't know who these guys were. And I would think you have at least heard of one of them. Catfish Hunter, Raleigh Fingers. And first of all, Catfish Hunter is one of the great names in baseball history. Raleigh Fingers, pretty good name too, actually.
Yeah, they're both amazing.
This was from the Oakland A's in the early 70s. When I first started to be a baseball fan in the early 70s. And Catfish Hunter the A's had a little dynasty there, won 3 titles in a row. And Catfish Hunter was a starting pitcher, and Raleigh Fingers was a relief pitcher, an ace relief pitcher, ended up going to the Hall of Fame. And so led the league in saves. A little bit like they had relief pitchers and saves back then. Saves started being a bigger thing in the 80s, but he was one of these guys. He wasn't one of these he wasn't one of these babied relief pitchers. Guys back in that era like Bruce Sutter and Raleigh Fingers, even Gossage, they would go 2 and 3 innings sometimes. Kind of like it's more like some really good relief pitchers do in college now.
Yeah, no, you weren't. The closer wasn't really as much of a thing, but I mean. Two of the best names. Raleigh Fingers had a fantastic mustache, and so did Catfish. And you ever heard the story of how he got the nickname Catfish? Because his name's like James
I
Augustus.
have heard it, but now I don't know that I remember it now.
So this says that Finley, whoever this Finley character is.
He's the crazy owner of the A's.
Yes. He gave Hunter the nickname Catfish in 1965 because he thought the 19-year-old pitcher needed a flashy nickname. A story circulated that his family gave him the nickname as a child when he went missing and was later found with a string of catfish. There is no truth to that explanation. However, news articles published it mere days after his signing in '64, and that's how he got the nickname.
Jim Hunter was his name, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how Catfish is a flashy nickname.
It's a cool name.
It is cool,
country, kind of.
But it's not very flashy.
It's country cool, yeah.
I mean, he is from North Carolina, so... A good catfishing up there, I believe.
No, that's a good one, though. Catfish Hunter and Raleigh Fingers. From the offensive standpoint on those teams, Reggie played on those teams. And, Catfish Hunter ended up with the Yankees like Reggie did. I don't know. Again, I don't know if Reggie goes with anybody. The problem with guys like Reggie, they're such on an island type people. But, Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudy, Reggie, Sal Bando, those were kind of the better offensive players from that group. But, no, I think Catfish Hunter, Raleigh Fingers is a good one. Vida Blue was pitching for them, too. Another great name. And they had some great names.
I was about to say, you could put them just on the 1-2 punch for names list.
Vida Blue and Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter, Bert Campaneris, Sal Bando. Joe Rudy's not an awful name. I mean, they had some good names on those teams.
No, names are boring now.
Yeah. Some great names. All right, so any other thoughts you have on those, certainly feel free to do it. I did not see any of the softball game last night, but I know that Texas handled Texas Tech. It's a best of 3. We'll see what happens. Kennedy kind of dominated everything last year. She's not anything close to a lock, now. I mean, they're hitting her pretty good, and she didn't pitch much last night. So we'll see if Texas Tech can fight back. And the truth is, they have been backed into a corner this year a couple times against Florida and Alabama, and they came out fighting and won. So we'll see.
Can you imagine, though, being a Tech fan and having you lose to Texas 2 years in a row in the national championship? How just abysmal that feeling has to be.
It is. I understand they're both in Texas, but I don't think it's like this long-standing hate thing. Well, I mean, Texas Tech was nothing in softball until they started paying, and Coach Glasgow got there. And like I said yesterday, Coach White and Coach Glasgow are very good friends off the field. So I don't think this is a hatred thing because there's not a history. It's not like
Well, it's starting now,
Well,
especially with the
it
football
is.
stuff.
It is now, but again, 5 years ago, Texas Tech was irrelevant in most sports.
Yeah, and I mean, really and truly, they kind of still are. They're not that good, and they just got a quarterback who's probably not going to play football for them.
Well, I mean, they had 2 defensive players or
Yeah, I
3
know.
drafted. They were really good on defense last year. But no, look again. I think it's a sudden hatred. It's like a trendy hatred,
Yeah.
a trendy rivalry right now.
Well, the stuff with football, with Sarkisian saying, kind of calling out Texas Tech scheduling, and then them saying, well, we'll buy him out and play you.
Is that real?
As far as I know, it looks pretty real.
I mean, why would Sarkisian say all this crazy stuff?
I really don't know. I mean, normally I would say Texas and A&M.
I heard that, and I was like, look, I'm all for the pettiness and all that. Like, he said all this stuff about Ole Miss. Like, why even go down that road? Why?
Stir the pot? I don't know. Draw attention, but
I mean, I think you can make a statement to get your point across without being specifically drilling one school. And to me, it doesn't make you look good. You can still get your point across in a general way without calling out one school. I don't know. Maybe he hates them that much. I don't know. You just wonder.
It's all for
I didn't get all that.
It's all for clicks. I mean, really and truly, it just
What does Steve Sarkisian care about clicks? Unless he didn't even say this stuff.
It draws attention to the program. I mean, you can never have too many eyes
on
you.
It's the richest program in the country. Like, what do they need attention for?
Look, I don't know, because I thought the same thing. Like, it would be one thing if it was like Kiffin or somebody, somebody that's usually in the spotlight for saying something or doing something, not Sarkisian, really. I mean, he's kind of had a low profile since, his shenanigans back in the day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, with all the skeleton in his closet, just coach your football team and move on. Why are you opening up, trying to expose other people's flaws? I mean, what? I didn't get. We didn't comment on that. The only reason I'm commenting on it now is because you brought it up, and I've been kind of confused by all of that. It doesn't make much sense to me. But anyway, so we'll see what happens. The other thing that happened since we spoke yesterday, and we're going to talk about it next hour when our friend James Skermetta comes on, is this whole 41Z28 Alvin Kamara thing. Like, he shows up at camp. It looks like a total negotiation ploy to me, but I don't know really what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know that a lot of people know what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't know if anything is, because he said yesterday he hasn't spoken to anyone. Now, that's the tricky deal. You can honestly say, I haven't spoken to anyone, but if your agent speaks to him, to me, that's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
You're not lying,
it's
but
like,
you are.
Yeah, you're not lying, but you are lying. If that's the case. And his agent had to talk to him at some point.
Yeah.
To the Saints at some point. So the whole plausible deniability thing, I haven't spoken to anyone. Well, no, but your agent has, and he's representing you, so it's kind of like a marriage between a husband and a wife. You're one. I mean, they're one. I mean, from a football contract standpoint. So I think it's disingenuous when what coaches or players say, I haven't spoken to someone, but their agent has. You're just trying to lie.
Yeah, it's a way to get around it.
And so I gotta believe his agent at least has spoken to someone.
Yeah,
with the Saints, but he is different.
He is a different cat.
And here's the thing I don't get. And again, I don't have a problem with it. But this idea, like, if you're going to show up, why not show up on day one? Like, what's the purpose of showing up on day 4? Like, the whole idea is, well, he's showing up on day 4, showing good faith. Well, if you show good faith, he'd be there day 1.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody in his circle or his team or said that, wait a few days and then go. Like that. I'm sure everything is a calculated decision.
And the whole thing. Wait, he never comes to OTAs. Well, why not? So he's like special.
Yeah,
I mean, I just like the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, okay, why not? He's a leader of the team, and leaders are not there.
Leader, the definition has changed in sports over,
And so, again, I really am torn on like I said yesterday, the whole Kamara thing. It's like And I've said if he comes back, I'm great with it. If they decide they're ready to move on, I'm great with it. I don't want it to be ugly. I think everything's heading in the right direction right now for the Saints. And, you don't need any of that ugliness. But I think that, the people who are going to be ultra critical about if they move on need to make sure that, if you were at all the T-34, you don't need to be criticizing the Saints for moving on when all you did was trash the Saints while it was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wanted to move on. This is part of the process.
And if you trash him for moving, or you trash the Saints because he moves on, if he goes somewhere else and doesn't perform, you need to take it back, Say, oh, look, maybe they did make the right choice.
Well, it's like everyone drilled the Saints about this J.T. Gray, and I have nothing against J.T. Gray, but J.T. Gray went on another team and got cut, and he's out of football right now as far as I know. So all this, the Saints just got bashed for this J.T. Gray. He's even on a team right now.
Yeah,
J.T.
I'm not sure.
He went to the Ravens and got cut.
I'd have to look it up, but I don't think he is.
We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Delta Media Corp is hiring immediately for an media account executive, and this could be the career change you've been looking for. Our fast-paced radio, television, digital media company looking for confident people person, PPPP, who enjoys building relationships and local businesses and helping them grow. This is perfect for someone looking for a midlife career change, a fresh start, a new challenge with unlimited earning potential. Sales experience is preferred but not required. We will teach, train, support the right person. What matters most is confidence, communication skills, personality, and the ability to connect with people. If you are ready to leave that boring job behind and start a new career, we'd love to talk to you today. Email Johnette Cochran at jcochran@deltamediacorp.com, and let's start your new career today. Delta Media Corp is an equal opportunity employer.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
It's hurricane season, and Mid-South Power Solutions wants you and your family to be prepared. Protect your home from sudden power outages with a Generac automatic standby generator, the industry leader. Installed by the experts at Mid-South Power Solutions, the Generac automatic standby generator start up during power failures, keeping your home powered until the local utility restores service. Remember, installing a standby generator is not a do-it-yourself project. Mid-South Power Solutions factory-trained technicians meet the highest standards. Don't get caught in the dark. Visit Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley or at midsouthpowersolutions.com. Mid-South Power Solutions. Your power, our priority.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Bryson Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Bryson Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSBA filing number LA2518447.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Well, Blake is telling me that J.T. Gray was acquired in the offseason by the Philadelphia Eagles, so maybe his career isn't quite over. But the point was that, it wasn't just this, Saints just got bashed by a lot of people for the whole J.T. Gray thing. And, first of all, again, it's part of moving on. Like, all these people that want to move, I'm not the one that wanted to tear everything down. Y'all all hated everything that was going on. And then when they move on, then at that point, you can't criticize the moving on process.
Yeah.
That's just part of you're going to get rid of guys because you got new coaching staff and they want their guys in, or they want the rookies and they want to go younger, and that's just part of the process. Just saying, you can't have it both ways. You can't drill everything that was in the previous regime, and then when the new regime comes in and they make changes, why are they getting rid of that guy? Well, that's part of the process.
Yeah. That's just, it's a business. You got to move on. You got to get, keep replenishing and refreshing.
Doesn't mean everything they're going to do every decision is going to work out, but changing everything is just, again, part of that process. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll ask James and his impressions of the whole. Again, the minute I heard it, I'm like, this is a negotiating ploy. Like, he's just playing with the Saints right now.
That was all to get attention.
And I just hope it doesn't become something that's this big negative thing, because everything is so positive for a change right now, and hopefully they can keep it going. And again, I think it can work. But I also could see that it could work without him. And so it all depends on injury. We say, well, Neal is hurt. I agree. Kendry Miller's always hurt. 41 was hurt last year. I mean,
not many Saints who can say they're not.
He's part of the injury situation too. And so, and then he cost us a game with that stupid fumble last year. People forget about that play. But anyway, it is, I think it was a lazy, lack of energy fumble too. That's the problem. And a lot of his lack of blocking is lazy, lack of energy, not blocking on blitzes. So that's the issue I have with that. And so, again, if you're gonna show good faith, then show up on day one of OTA, not day 4 if you want to show up. And that. And again, I it sounds like I dislike him and I'm critical of him. No, but it's just, you can't have it both ways. You're either a leader or you're not.
Well, yeah, and time marches on.
And I'm okay with negotiating ploys. I just don't want this to become a negative thing. Hopefully it won't be. It's just a tricky situation because he's so highly thought of. It's not just like, it's not a people can get mad about JT Gray. He's a special teams guy. He's not like the leader of your team or one of them. And
he's not a face of the franchise.
Yeah, he's not a face of the franchise. So this one's tricky. And hopefully it gets resolved, whichever way I'm fine with, but just gets resolved and doesn't become this big negative sideshow. We don't need negative sideshows. I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't want, we don't want any soap opera players. And I don't think 41 at his core is one. So hopefully it doesn't happen. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. BBAutosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles on this glorious Thursday morning. And it's glorious because the Astros had the most unlikely of victories last night. 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on, and the 8 and 9 hitters up. Unbelievable. And I'm sure our next guest, Mr. Brett Chansey, it was as surprised and thrilled about that development as I was. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. That was a win for the ages for 2026 at least, because this team, how many times have they taken a lead early, lost it, and just not been able to score enough runs to get a win? I mean, they will score 6, 7, 8 runs on the season, it seems like, and still lose 8-10 or 7-6. And so it was nice, especially for the fans that went and especially for the fans that stayed. What a treat.
Yes. A lot of them left, and you understand because it's a midweek game and it was a long game. And then, they just couldn't get the Pirates out, and the Astros tried a couple, showed signs of comebacks, and they didn't get it done. All right, so I haven't had a chance to talk to Brett. It's been a trying season for the Astros, and there's a lot of issues. There's several things, and we're not going to get to everything today, but we'll try to be talking on a regular basis so we can get to everything. And one of the things that's been the most encouraging thing to me is that at the beginning of the season, I was like, what kind of bullpen are we going to have? And because you didn't know when Hader was coming back, and he came back last night and got his first save. None of us foresaw Brian Abreu being what he is right now. There's no way. He's been nothing but great since he came up. There was no way to really predict this. And yet I still see a lot of elements that could make for a good bullpen the second half. What do you think of the status of the bullpen?
Look, I just think that they've got to A, trust their stuff, B, they have to consistently hold the line, because you have seen, outside of one or two of our pitchers that have been in there, Spencer Arrighetti, Lambert has been consistent. Kawhi Tang has actually been really good, but you've gotten kind of mixed bag of results from the starters. So now the onus is on the bullpen. The issue is the bullpen's been very overused, very overexposed. And in the age of the bullpen, your goal is not to deploy them, but you have to deploy them strategically. And, I think gone are the days of Abreu being put in any kind of leverage situations. He is just proven to be just ineffective. And I think it's mental. My co-host at Back to the Bullpen, Mike Stanton, former pitcher, thinks that he's like, I'm not convinced something's not wrong with him. But overall, the bullpen has done their job. It's just the walks. Like when your walks and your strikeouts are the same number, that's an issue. And so my question is, how do they continue to be more efficient? If they can bring the efficiency up, throw fewer pitches, get fewer walks, then I think the bullpen can be a real strength. And I thought going into the season that the hallmark of this team was going to be the pitching side and the struggle was going to be offensively. Well, it was flipped early. The pitching and the hitting haven't lined up. Where the pitching's been solid, the hitting's dropped off. Where the hitting's been crushing it, the pitching drops off. So they've got to get in sync with each other, and that's been the big problem. Yes, injuries is an issue, but you've got to go with the horses you have in the barn. And if they're not executing, there's not a whole lot you can do. And it seemed like that was going to happen last night, and that's why you play the games and you don't play them on paper.
Relief pitchers have always been funny. And I remember a year not that long ago where Hader for the first half of the season was just absolutely awful for a whole half a season, and then he got it back. We've seen that happen. So I'm not giving up on Abreu, but you're right. It does look weak right now. The other thing is Tang was supposed to be in the bullpen, and he's had to become a starter, and he's done a very good job as a starter. If they could get their starting rotation healthy / figured out and guys start pitching well, if you can move Tang back into the bullpen, that makes it even better.
Yeah, here's the catch-22 though. I know everybody's like, keep Peter Lambert there, but would you rather have Lambert back in the bullpen as a long reliever, or would you rather have Tang? I think Tang is highly effective as a starter, just because he's able to tick the velocity up a little bit. He also has good spin. Whenever Hunter Brown comes back, it'll be a good problem to have. They have said they don't want to go to the 6-man, but they could go to the 6-man. But Josh Hader coming back last night is huge, is massive, not just for Josh Hader being a part of the Astros team, but him being in the bullpen, him being able to mentor these younger relief pitchers, the Alimber Santas, and the other guys that are in there. Josh Hader is the leader of that bullpen, and I think it ends and begins with Josh Hader. So as Josh Hader goes, I think this bullpen's going to go, and you're going to see, I think, an improved performance and improved confidence because you have your leader there in the back end. But look, I'm still on board with Tang staying in the rotation. Now, I don't know how it all works out. I don't know who the odd man out is, but it's definitely a good problem to have.
Again, we're speaking with Brett Chansey of Locked On Astros. All right, I'm trying to be patient with Mike Burrows, but he is very difficult to be patient with. I'm a what I call, some people think I'm negative, I'm a glass overflowing guy. So I'm trying to see a ceiling that I can look forward to. I'm not seeing a high ceiling with this guy.
Yeah, Mike Burrows, Joe Espada publicly voiced his frustration, which he rarely does. I mean, look, I hand it to him, and, talking to people that are inside the clubhouse, the team likes Joe Espada. Joe Espada is a player's coach. I don't think he's as much a player's coach as Dusty was, but the players do like him. Because I had heard rumors early that Joe had lost them. But when Joe publicly says, look, we know home runs are going to happen, but they're always happening with people on base, that's a problem. Like, I don't know if Burrows, that two-seam is killing him. If you go and look at the home runs he's given up, multi-run home runs, pretty much on the same pitch, he's got to get something else added to his arsenal. And he's not that far into his major league career. He's maybe pitched total one full major league season over 2 years at this point. So people forget Mike Burrows isn't like a 5 or 6 year veteran. This is a guy that they basically, the cost was low. It was low risk, high reward. And what you thought you saw in spring with Burrows, you're like, oh yeah, this guy's going to pull the string with his changeup. He's going to miss bats. And he has done opposite of that. So Burrows could, I think, maybe do some good down in AAA, working on some things, but I don't know when the Astros pull those triggers or not. They kind of play coy when it comes to those things. I never know what they're going to do, but Burrows to me could stand a stint maybe on the IL. I know they quote unquote don't do phantom injuries anymore, but it's time for his shoulder to be sore and maybe to go down and work things out in AAA.
All right, a couple very interesting situations. Yonder Diaz, when he comes back, whenever that is, like what do you do? Because the team tends to win around Vasquez. Vasquez has struggled to throw out runners, but so has Yonder in his career. So, I mean, it's like, although he had a nice one last night of Diaz, and he's gotten clutch hits, and him and Nick Allen was the one that ignited the 6-run inning. Like, what do you do with Yonder when he comes back?
Well, look, here's the deal. I think you sit down with Yiner and say, look, you've been our starter for the last couple of seasons, and we appreciate all the work you put in. Right now, we cannot reduce Vasquez playing time that much. We're going to get you in there. Once you start showing signs of success, once you start, we've got to have your bat. Like, your bat is key, right? If you can start hitting and you can get hot, we will flip this back in your favor. But for right now, he's going to be our starter. You're going to be the backup. And in reality, I don't think the Astros are going to do that. But that's what needs to happen. And like Cam Smith, when I talked to him in the offseason, when I asked him about Dana Brown saying, hey, he has to earn his spot, he's like, we should always have to earn our spot. That's baseball. You should always have to play to earn your spot. It should never be guaranteed. And Yiner shouldn't be guaranteed on most of the starts. Look, until voting stops, I'm voting for Christian Vasquez as the American League All-Star catcher. And I know that's a little bit conflated in popularity contests of me with the All-Star vote, but he has earned my respect behind the dish. And I think he's your starter for now. If I'm the coach, if I'm the GM, Yiner's got to earn his playing time when he comes back.
All right. Can Joey Loperfido be the left fielder when he comes back? Because the Astros I've been trying to hoping they'd get a major league, what I call a major league outfielder since Brantley left, and they've still not been able to do it. I don't know that he's the guy, but at least he swings from the left side, and they need that. And the Taylor Trammell, he's a nice backup, but this Taylor Trammell stuff's got to stop. So can Joey Loperfido be the answer, or what do you see about him when he comes back? And when is he coming back?
Yeah, well, I think he hit a home run yesterday for Sugarland. Looks like I would think he's only a couple more starts away from being back. But, yeah, Trammell has come in, and he has fit in nicely, and he is one of those guys. He's a veteran. He's got a decent glove. He can swing a bat. But Loperfido is your guy from the left side, and he has shown a much – more efficient bat, meaning getting up, getting hits, getting on base. And so you need to get Loperfido regular at-bats, regular starts. I love him out in left field. I think he helps big time. And, Joey can move around. If you got to give Myers a rest, you got Zach Cole back up. You could put Loperfido in center field as well. So you could play him out there in a couple different positions, and you definitely need his left-handed bat. I think he's learned to look. The kid can hit left side of the field, right side of the field. To me, he's your answer right now until you get somebody else in. But hey, give him a shot. The kid's a really good ball player. I don't think we've seen the best yet from Joey Loperfido.
Well, I hope you're right. Well, appreciate it. We're going to try to start talking more on a regular basis this summer. Looking forward to it. And hopefully last night's great victory, like you said, really an historic victory, can get this team going, and that'd be a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, thanks for having me on, everybody there in Louisiana. Make sure y'all checked out Locked on Astros on the Locked on Podcast Network, as well back to the bullpen with Mike Stanton on the Locked on MLB channel.
Absolutely. Check Brett out. We appreciate his time. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Go Stros.
Brett Chansey. Now we'll shift gears from the Astros to the Saints. Lots to discuss there with James Scarmetta next. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley bring you this hurricane tip. Make sure to secure your home, bring in outdoor items, have an emergency kit with water, food, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio. Remember, safety is in your hands. Your hurricane preparedness tips powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit MidSouthPowerSolutions.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you. But he likes you, Bart.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the LHSAA, are the 110,000 high school sports students in Louisiana. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back. As we said, we're shifting from the Astros to the Saints, talking to our friend, Mr. James Skirmetter. How are you, sir?
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going well. I'm an Astros fan. I know you're not, or I don't think you are. And so they scored 6 in the bottom of the 8th last night to win a game, so I'm kind of flying high right now. But so that's just, you got to take the wins when you can get them. You know what I'm
Well, and you're about to get Hunter Brown back. So
Yes.
y'all are, all things are good.
Yes. All right. So I think all things are pointing up for sure for the Saints. No question. When Alvin Kamara showed up yesterday, I said, well, this is a negotiating ploy, which I guess is all part of the game, and that's fine. Do you foresee a scenario where this can be a negative, or do you think you just play this out and it'll work out however it works out?
I think it was very smart from Alvin and his team. I think it was a very shrewd poker move to show up, make the Saints make a decision. He's under contract, so he has every right to be there, every right to participate. I think it makes the Saints have to decide quick what they're going to do. And the decision is going to come down to, does what they're paying him equal the value he'll give them on the field? If it does equal, then I think they're fine with having him. I mean, he's an extra weapon, even if he's in a part-time role or whatever. But the Saints, when they run their finances so to the letter that if that balance is off, if they're paying him more than their expected value of what he's going to return, then I think they'll move off of him. So they're probably right now crunching the numbers, but I think it's as simple as that.
How much of a relationship is there between that scenario and the Chris Olave contract or extension negotiation?
I think the Olave one is they much more just want to go ahead and do that. I think there's a lot, it's more of like, okay, like the Drake London news hit, that's a big data point for the Chris Olave extension. But with Olave, what he did last year, he was an all-pro. More importantly than just like paying him, getting him on the roster, having an elite wide receiver, it's keeping Tyler Shuck consistent. Like everything they've done for the last however many months has been around Tyler Shuck. They seem to be really trying to build this team around him. So taking away his number one guy, taking away a guy who, he helped have an all-pro year, I think would be crazy. So it's as much of a pat on the shoulder for Shuck as it is for Olave, but I have no doubt they want to get that done and they want to get it done quick.
Well, no question. But what I'm saying is if they end up having to give Olave a little more than they really wanted just to make it work for all the reasons you just said, then maybe it makes more sense not to then it's not that, again, it's not that they're going to save money this year, but they're going to save more money next year. It might make more sense to cut 41 if they have to give Olave a little more than they want.
If I was the Saints, yeah, I mean, if I was the Saints, I would right now the move, if we're talking about like leverage and stuff with Alvin, is that now the Saints have to come back and say, okay, look, here's the deal. If you want to be on the team, if we want to move forward with this, you got to get to this number. Whatever that number is, whatever their algorithm spits out that they got to get to, that's it. But now I think they've kind of reached that point with Alvin showing up where if they delay it and he's there every day and he's getting around the players and he's being baked into the offense and, he's getting reps with Shuck and Achane and everybody else, then it's harder for the Saints to just all of a sudden, move off of him. So I think now they got to, whatever that number is, and I don't know what it is, if they want to ask for a cut or another restructure or however they want to do it with their different, unique ways to balance money, but they got to come back with that number now.
All right. The other thing about that whole scenario that I'm unclear about is where is Devin Neal physically? Because he got hurt last year, and Kendre Miller,
Yep.
I mean, who knows where he is physically. But the thing that's tricky is I really think Kendre Miller's running style kind of fits with this group. So, I mean, I don't have any idea how healthy those guys are.
They have the Saints they added so much to every position group. You can kind of say this like across the board, but their running back room is currently about 5 deep, and past Achane, you could tell me any order of those other 4. You could tell me Alvin's on the team, he's off the team, Devin Neal's the backup, Devin Neal's the third string, Kendre Miller's the backup, Kendre Miller's hurt for the entire year, doesn't play, Audric Estime, he's the backup. And if you just go to last year, Estime was probably the best running back last year out of those guys. And Miller, same story as always. He shows flashes, but he's been hurt. Neal was drafted by this group and was good until he got hurt. So the Saints will give all of them the chance to, I guess, like get up on top of that position group, just like with Jeremiah Wright and Cesar Ruiz. I think that's a legitimate competition. I think TJ Hall, the DB from Iowa, I think he'll come in and get a chance to show and see if he can play early. The Saints will give these guys a chance. It's just who performs the best now, who can be on the field, who cannot be injured. But yeah, out of those 3 guys, it's up for the taking of who's going to emerge.
There's still obviously a lot of questions and a lot of things to work out, and we're not even going to talk. I mean, I do a lot of nicknames on my show, so I've nicknamed the Saints' first-round pick the Riddler, because it's just kind of a question mark situation there. We'll see how the Riddler works out. But that's a different issue. I think the one guy who's like an X factor, I have no idea if he, is he going to play? Because a lot of us forget he's even on the team, is Blackman. Like, how do you see that working out?
I think the safety room, I think Julian Blackman, Jonas Sanker, and Justin Reed are all going to be on the field. If I had to guess right now, I would say that Reed and Blackman are your safeties, and then Sanker is kind of going to roll into that, what they're calling that star role. In Brandon Staley's defense, he wants a safety in that, like, slot corner star role, and Sanker is the guy who's been doing it in OTAs. But from what I've heard from Kellen and Staley is that they like how smart those 3 players are. I think they understand Staley's system and the rotations and what's all baked in there. I do think there's still going to be a rotation. Like I talked about TJ Hall and some of those guys, like depending on the game state, depending on if they're more run-oriented or pass-oriented or what they're trying to do, you'll see different players in different spots. But I think right now the plan is for Reed and Blackman to kind of be the safeties.
All right. The other, we talked about the potential injury situation at running back. They acquired a cornerback in Martin Emerson. Really, realistically, what are the chances that he can physically be ready to play this season?
I mean, injury is always a concern, and the Saints have showed that they're willing to buy low on injury-plagued players like Jalen Polk and they're willing to kind of have. I mean, even Chase Young to a certain extent was like that, where it's like, okay, we're getting a deal on him because he's been injured and kind of floated around a little bit, and then they just hope that they can kind of prove it and see what happens. So he'll get a chance again. He's like the opposite of the star corner role. He's a guy who's played at the boundary his entire career, so he's just going to be more depth for the outside. He's going to be more depth with. I mean, we saw it last year with Isaac Yiadom and Quincy Riley. Like, they both came in. Yiadom was supposed to be the outside corner number 2 guy, and then all of a sudden, Riley leaps over him, and we never really see Yiadom play again. So Emerson will get a chance to get healthy, and he'll get a chance to play on the outside. But when you are injury-riddled your entire career, just like Kendrick Miller, that's the number one thing. You got to stay healthy.
It seems like now people that are being at least somewhat objective, there's still what I call the T34 crowd, it's just a real negative group, that just they're going to be negative no matter what. But the only kind of negative you hear right now are injuries. And for the most part, I think you and I agree that that's kind of a random thing. Where I don't think we totally agree eye to eye is Eric McCoy. I think he got hurt 2 years ago. He got hurt last season. It's not a random thing if he gets hurt this year. Are you comfortable with what the Saints have done in the offseason? Can this offensive line still be good if Eric McCoy goes down again?
I like what they did in the offseason. I feel good about the offensive line right now as is. I would argue 4/5 of it are somewhere around really good to elite, and if 4/5 of your offensive line is really good to elite, then you've got like a top 10 unit. Now, if McCoy gets hurt again 3 years running, yeah, they won't be as elite for sure. And I kind of, at a certain point, you just kind of got to let your horses run, and players are going to get hurt. Players that have never been hurt before will get hurt. Players that are hurt all the time will play a full season. Injuries only kind of matter when they matter. It's hard to, just like with Olave, it's hard to go into every year saying, well, he's one hit away. It's true. It's true for everybody, I guess, but then Olave has a all-pro year last year. So is he all of a sudden not injury? Is there not an injury concern? No, there always is. McCoy, same thing. If McCoy plays every second of every game this year, that doesn't mean going into 2027 he's not still an injury concern. But I just don't think you can worry about it. I mean, I really don't. But so looking at it, injuries out of it, I think the offensive line's great, and there's still a little bit of unknown with like David Edwards, how he'll blend in, how good he actually will be. But if he's just who he is, if he's just who he's been his entire career, then I think the Saints – I was listening to a guy, Cleve TA in Vegas, and he was ranking the NFL offensive lines. And he had the Saints at 3 and the best offensive line. So there's a little bit of volatility there because of the injury concerns, but also because we haven't seen David Edwards. We haven't seen Eric McCoy with this group. But I think their ceiling is super high.
I agree with that. All right, so take injuries aside. After the draft, after an exciting free agent period, and I think another exciting draft, if you had to say your biggest concern depth chart wise right now, who would be your what area would be your biggest still unresolved question mark?
Probably the linebacker group. I think the linebacker group is a group that I feel okay about, but it would be a tie between the linebacker group and the cornerbacks. The reason I give it to the linebackers is that in Staley's system, corners are asked to do a little bit less. Like, they just play like that pattern matching zone. So they're not on an island like in Dennis Allen's system. They're not going to be asked to play a lot of man, so they can kind of get by with just being okay. But it's a big jump to lose DeMario, and I love Danny Stutzman like a brother, but it's a big jump to say, okay, we lost DeMario, who's one of the best linebackers in the NFL, who's coming off a career high in tackles, and now we have this young group of upstarts with Pete Werner and Danny Stutzman and Stallbird, and you bring in Caden Ellis, but he's kind of unknown as well. They're asking him to jump in here and be really good immediately. You just never know with new players. I know he's not new in the sense of he's never been in New Orleans, but just incoming players, you never know how they'll take quick. So the linebacking group, I'm I'm bullish on because I like Stutzman. I think he was really good last year. But to completely remove DeMario and just hope that these guys can make it work at that level, I would say that's the group that was probably the most untouched this offseason that I have the most concerns about just because of what they'll be asked to do.
Well, and I think what you said makes sense, but I think Kay Nellis is very respected in the NFL, like by people or coaches, and I think he's going to be one of, if not the leader of this defense, and I think he's going to be fine. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm a huge special teams guy, so I'm ecstatic of what they've done, except for I am not sold on the kicker situation.
Yeah.
I'm not sold.
No,
Are you sold?
Yeah, I think Chuck Smith came in last year and looked good at times. He's certainly raw. He was raw last year. I know they have brought in kickers to compete. But I love what they did with Ryan Wright, bringing in a punter who you can just set it and forget it. I mean, our special teams were so bad last year. I'm glad you brought that up because that might be one of the most underrated parts of how good this offseason was.
Yes.
Was they really addressed that. I mean, they really went after, okay, let's go get Ryan Wright. Let's go get a punter who is as good as we could ask for. Let's go get an actual return guy in Barry and Brown. Let's go get guys to play special teams. I mean, even like gunners, even like the TJ Halls and Lorenzo Styles and players like that. Let's go get these guys. I mean, Styles can return too, but let's go get guys specifically for special teams. And Chuck Smith, the field goal kicker's always going to get the most eyeballs on him, always going to get the most pressure. But if he wins the competition and they keep bringing in people and we get to the beginning of the year and he's our kicker, I feel okay about it. But, he's definitely – to go from where he was last year, which was a completely raw prospect, to now it's on him. I'm with you that I'm a little nervous about that, but I love how they addressed the rest of special teams because it was so bad.
It's the best, most least talked about thing that they've done in this offseason. All right, I appreciate you coming on as always. Let people know, again, if you're a Saints fan and you're not one of these guys who thinks everything is terrible and everything is awful and Mickey Loomis is the biggest idiot in the world and all that crowd that we've been blah, blah, blah hearing for 3 years, this guy's more – I love most of absolutely what he says. So if somebody wants to listen to you, tell them how they can get you.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Just search James Skrmetta. I've been video dropping at 11 a.m., so you'll get right on the next one. And I'm with you. The negative crowd is hurting right now. It's time to be bullish on the Saints. This is the team. This is a completely different team the last couple of years. So all the negative stuff, get it out of here. This is going to be a big, big, big year for the Saints.
All right. Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Take care. James Skrmetta. No, it is amazing how he and I see eye to eye on most things. Not everything, but I'm higher on Caden Ellis than he is. I think Caden Ellis is way better than some people realize, and I think he's going to be take up. I'm not saying he's as good as Demario Davis, but he's different. I think he's going to provide a lot of the pass rushing and other things. And he's a little more so that McCoy's going to be healthy than me. I'm worried about that. But no, check James out if you haven't done that yet. We'll take a time out and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kai Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just one game away from repeating as champions and becoming the third program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet, heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag Zero-Turn Lawnmowers.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. Benedict Arnold's. 1, 2, 3. A division foe of the Saints who stole a bunch of Saints players and reminds Kevin of the 18th century military officer, also known as the Carolina Panthers. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Look, appreciate Brett coming on and James coming on. Absolutely. look, it's June, and so I understand we're in transition with football, and this whole Alvin Kamara situation is fascinating on so many fronts. Like, I don't really know what they're going to do, and I'm not even 100% sure that the Saints know. I know I'm confident the Saints say, well, if this happens, we'll do this. If this happens, we'll do this. But so it's not like they're like caught flat-footed here, although they were surprised. I mean, I think they know what their options are. It's just, how is this going to play out? That's a fascinating issue. But if you're reasonably on board on the Saints' last two drafts and the offseason and all of that, consider this. Like, if you're reasonably on board, and like I was asking James, I don't think Martin Emerson, I do not think it's reasonable to think he's going to be healthy this season to play. I don't think so. But if he is, let's just say he is, and I don't think he will. But let's say he is. And let's say Julian Blackmon is healthy. Because how many times have you heard Julian Blackmon's name? Like, he was acquired to be a starting safety and got hurt right away and didn't play. And it's all, I think we all know he's on the team, but I don't know that we're factoring into the whole how good is this team going to be or could be. If Emerson is healthy, which I don't expect, but if he is, and if Blackmon is healthy, which I don't expect, but if he is, and if McCoy is healthy, which I don't expect, but if he is, we don't know. It's injuries are this. Do you realize the impact that could make? And I understand Emerson's more of a backup right now, and he is. But for the crowd that wanted him to pick a cornerback in the first round because they hate Kool-Aid and they don't trust Quincy Riley yet, and if Sanker or Blackmon, whoever, becomes that Alontae Taylor replacement, then now suddenly you have 3 reliable corners and like 4 reliable safeties.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have.
I just think again, I don't expect Blackmon and Emerson to be healthy, and I don't even know that I expect McCoy to be healthy. But if they are, that's part of how this team gets to the next level. Like it gives them the kind of depth on those sides of the ball that they just didn't have. They just didn't have the last 2 years. So I think those guys are not talked about nearly enough. But the problem is none of us know if they're going to be healthy or not. All right, let us head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Kevin, this is Coach.
How are you,
sir?
sir?
I'm so glad that you are giving us that information about the Saints. All Saints fans, I think the state of Louisiana, we need to know what's going on with that team, because that team is considered our team. Yes,
right.
It is. I'm a Cowboy fan, but I like the Saints.
All right.
Part of my Louisiana. So with that said, I'm going to jump completely off that. I'm going somewhere else. College football. Kevin, Nick Saban bumping his gums about things these days. Lately, you know about it. All right, so here's my question to you. Kevin, why don't people just leave college football alone and let it go in the direction it's going, because it's evolving? Before Nick Saban ever got into the college football coaching thing, there was a man named Paul Bear Bryant. That's why I'm an Alabama fan today. All right, all I'm going to say about that is this. Bryant is the one that built that situation over there. Saban just came in there, and he just did what, blah, 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 and then he packed it up, and he won a couple. But that foundation was laid up by Bryant. So with that said, everything that's being talked about getting politicians involved and all of that, man, I think that's a joke, because it's a new era, and those kids deserve the money that they can make. Nobody should be telling them kids with their own talent what they should be worth. If they're making that much money in college football at them gates and on the market and gambling and all of that, then let them kids make how much their talent can bring them in 4 or 5 years. And everybody that's retired, like Nick and them, then get out of the way. Go retire and go enjoy your life. Leave these kids alone, because back in the 70s, man, kids ain't had no money in college, and they were playing football for 4 years, and they were making all that money. Nobody complained. The kids played football anyway. They loved the game. Now they finally can make some money, but look at all the generation that had to go without no money and had to lay a pavement so that these kids can now call a shot.
All right, I appreciate the call. Well, look, look, it's a volatile issue, and I don't think most people have a problem with them getting paid. I mean, for a while it was they're not getting paid, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that still wish they weren't getting paid at all. But the fact that they're making some money is not a big deal. I just think you have to regulate it because what we do here, there's so many problems with this whole situation. And one of them that doesn't get discussed that I bring up here and there is it's not just about all the money that they're making. It's also about all the money that is promised kids that leave schools and then they don't get that money. And then then the whole mid-major issue, like there's so many things that have to be figured out. And I am totally against normally the idea that government would regulate sports. But I think if the NCAA and the schools and the presidents can't come up with a system to fix or to have at least some regulations, like they've got to fix something. I mean, it's not sustainable what's going on right now. And I agree with Coach in general that the idea of the government dictating this sounds awful, and my first reaction is against it. And most of them, to all of them, don't know anything about it anyway. But somebody's got to fix it. And you know me, I can't stand Tucktail. I'm his biggest critic that there probably ever was. But if it's him or someone else, I'm okay with them saying it's not about the alternative is not the players not making money. It's being fair to the schools and the players who are also getting promised money and not getting it. You know, again, there's all kind of stuff that's going on here. It's not just about players making money. It's such a convoluted, messed up system right now that I don't think it's sustainable. So they have to come up with some kind of a solution. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's way, way more issues and layers to this than just people are mad that athletes are getting paid in college.
It's way beyond that now.
Yeah, that is pretty much old news. I don't even think many people care about that anymore. It's all of the issues with, every year being free agency and tampering and transfer. No regulations.
It's complete chaos is what it is. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, we know you can't get enough sports in your life, so go and subscribe to your YouTube channel. ESPN Southwest Louisiana, turn the bell on so you can get notifications. We can post our new content like popular podcasts, 4-Tire Chains and Cleats and Sneaks, as well as Foot's Friday Fury. You can now stream all of our local shows on our YouTube channel. So go and subscribe to ESPN Southwest Louisiana's channel on YouTube.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Everybody's talking about the big, beautiful bill, and it's game-changing for taxpayers. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've read the bill, and if you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and get it resolved. This new legislation could give you a chance to get things straight with the IRS. Whether it's getting caught up on unfiled returns or negotiating IRS debts, there are a lot of new deductions and opportunities in the big, beautiful bill, and the Bryson Law Firm knows how to use them strategically. We've been staying on top of the tax changes in the big, beautiful bill, and we're ready to help our clients take full advantage. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm, LSP filing number LA2519079.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Black's Outdoor Marine is Acadiana's Spartan Mower headquarters. Spartan Mowers, delivering more mowing power and performance. Black's has commercial and residential Spartan mowers with Kawasaki motors in stock now and ready to cut. Black's also has parts, service, and financing available. Call 337-233-4272. That's 337-233-4272, or stop by 1423 Northwest Evangeline Thruway in Lafayette. Black's Outdoor and Marine, serving Acadiana since 1968.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Welcome back to Footnotes. We've had a nice show. We didn't get to add as much today as we'd like on a Thursday for our Footnote Summer Project 1-2 Punches, but we were just talking off the air. We had 2 interviews scheduled yesterday. We had 2 interviews today, very good ones. And as of now, we have none scheduled for tomorrow. So we'll be able to kind of talk a little bit and wrap up week 1 of our Footnote Summer Project 1-2 Punches. And we, that'll work out good. And hopefully, at least I'm hoping, I know Blake isn't, hoping that we have another Astros victory to discuss after last night's great victory, and hopefully they can get the Pirates out a little bit. I mean, man, it has been
good offense.
Gonzalez and Rodriguez and Diaz. I mean, they haven't been able to get anybody out. It's out. Jake Mangum got 4 hits. I mean, they couldn't get Jake Mangum out either. So I mean, they got to get somebody out. And they haven't got very many outs. I don't know what the Pirates are hitting in this series, but it's got to start with a 4, or at least a really high 3, a really bright colored number, neon light 3. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so hopefully they can get somebody out. Tang is pitching. We talked about Tang when Brett was on, and he's been very good. I would rather that they can afford to have him bolster the bullpen. But if they need him, we'll see a month from now. Hopefully Hunter Brown's pitching. Maybe Christian Javier will be back in the rotation. So we'll see. Lambert, the thing about Lambert that I like is he seems to know how to manage a game. And even though he doesn't have great stuff, he's shown the ability a couple times to get to the 6th and 7th inning, even though he doesn't have great stuff. And so I don't know. I like that ability as a starter, as starting pitchers to have that ability. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. A lot of question marks moving forward for sure. We may have a national champion in softball when we meet tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. Again, I think there are a lot of people around here who are pulling for Texas.
Yeah.
not really. They're pulling against Texas Tech.
That's
but there
more
are
accurate.
some that are pulling for Texas Tech just because of the personal relationship with Coach Glasgow when he was here. And so it's a mixed group, and we'll see how that plays out. Look, I won't be surprised if Texas, they've showed they're feisty.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't shock me if they came back and won, but obviously Texas has got it going. They're pretty talented, and
little bit.
They know each other very well, so maybe he knows how to.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a good game tonight. I mean, regardless of who wins, it'll be a good game.
It'll be interesting to see the result for sure. All right, so I didn't even look. When is Game 2 of the NBA? Is that tomorrow night?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. I believe it's 7:30 is what I say in the drill. Maybe 7, but it's one of those two. But it is tomorrow night.
I would think the Spurs are going to win that game, but if not, I mean.
Yeah, it might be over if not.
Yeah. I mean, they got to win. Even if they win, I still kind of feel like the Knicks are going to win, but we'll see. All right. Y'all have a nice day.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard.